The Bees and the Bougainvilleas. June publications. Sahi, these are the beautiful bougainvillea flowers. The bees are your friends, they will always be with you, daughter, said Mara. Hey, Sahi, where are you? A voice, sharp with anger, called out, waking Sahi from her dream. She stirred awake and let out a sigh from the dusty, untidy storeroom of that dreary, neglected house. Bami was having breakfast and shouted at Sahi, "What a waste is this?" Bami threw the plate to the floor and stormed out of the house, slamming the door shut with a loud bang. After all her tiring hard work, she fell asleep on the floor of the old storeroom. Once again, a dream came to her, of the bougainvillea tree and the gentle buzzing of bees. In the morning, the loud crowing of a rooster woke her up. Sahel had many responsibilities, from taking care of Bami's 2 kids, Bothol and Bethen, to managing all the household chores. On top of that, Bami started a chicken farm and assigned Sahel a new duty, taking care of the chickens as well. Whenever the chickens laid eggs, Bami would collect and sell them. She was always impatient to get more eggs, eagerly checking the nests every day. One day, after Bami had collected the eggs and left, Sahel discovered something unusual, a yellow egg hidden in the corner of the hen farm. Surprised by its strange color, she carefully picked it up and took it to her storeroom, which was also her room. Fearing that Bami might take it away, she kept the egg a secret. Its unique color fascinated her, and she instinctively gave it warmth, protecting it as if it were something special. Sahel always shared her bougainvillea dream with the egg, speaking to it as if it could listen. Then, one day, the egg hatched, but what emerged left her utterly shocked. A big yellow chicken stood before her, unlike any she had ever seen. But the most surprising part? It could talk. However, it spoke in a language different from hers, its words a mystery. Sahel stared in awe at the unusual chicken, feeling both wonder and love for the strange creature. Yet, no matter how much she tried to understand, the chicken always whispered something to her, as if trying to tell her an important secret. At last, Sahel decided she needed to uncover the magic spell hidden in the chicken's whispers. Determined, she made a bold choice, to seek out Vulture King Gayan, the mighty ruler who knew all languages. With the strange yellow chicken by her side, she prepared for the journey, hoping Gayan would reveal the mystery behind its words. As Sahel approached Gayan, the magical chicken suddenly spoke, spelling out mysterious words. Gayan listened closely and interpreted them. The bougainvillea, the bees are your friends. They are always with you. On the journey back, Sahel pondered over these words. A memory stirred within her, her mother's voice, echoing the same message from a past dream. But how could this magical chicken know? And why did it keep repeating those very words? She felt confused as the words echoed in her ears. A deep sadness filled her, and she started to cry. It was the first time she had ever shed tears. As her tears touched the ground, something magical happened. They shimmered and changed. Small bees rose from the earth, their wings glowing as they flew around her. The bees guided her home, leading her through the familiar paths. Soon, she stood beneath the bougainvillea tree, feeling a strange happiness. This place, her childhood home, had always appeared in her dreams. But she didn't understand what was happening. How could her tears turn into bees? What did it all mean? Through all the hardships in Bami's house, she had never cried. But now, after hearing the magical words from the chicken, the tears had come. Why now, she wondered. Where is my mother? How did Bami find me? What is the truth? Sahel tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. She felt confused and uncertain about what was happening. Suddenly, the magical chicken started making loud noises. Realizing that Bami might notice their absence, she knew she had to leave. With a heavy heart, she turned back and hurried home. The next day, when Bami left her house, Sahel reached her house but failed to open the door again. She whispered, "Bees are your friends," hoping for a change. Noticing a honeycomb in the bougainvillea tree, she climbed up cautiously. Fearfully peeking inside, she saw something glistening within. Her eyes widened as she realized the honeycomb held more than just honey, it held a secret. Sahel pulled a tiny, glowing key from the honeycomb and rushed to her door. As she inserted it, the lock clicked, and the door creaked open. Stepping inside, she watched in awe as floating lights illuminated a mysterious path ahead. Sahel found her mother's dresses, chose a flowing gown, and wore it as the floating lights shimmered around her. Sahel found bougainvillea petals around her home and joined them together. They formed a faint image of a lady, but one petal was missing. She searched everywhere but could not find it. At night, she looked at the moon and saw the shape of bees. She smiled with hope. The next day, Sahel returned home and found the missing petal inside the honeycomb. She placed it with the others and saw the full face of her mother. Overcome with emotion, she cried as her mother's voice gently spoke to her. "My dear, you are a magical fairy, and those who live with you never die," her mother's voice whispered. "This is a blessing from Princess Honeybee, whom I once saved from predators trying to steal honey from the bougainvillea tree." She revealed that Bamy, their neighbor, had kidnapped Sahel and taken her away, using her power to avoid death. "Bamy even killed me to keep her secret, but you must wait for the perfect day, think wisely, and remember, the bees are with you." As her mother's final words faded, the petals and her face disappeared, leaving Sahel standing in silence. Sahel returned to Bamy's house and cried endlessly. The next day, she sat hopelessly in the storeroom when the magical chicken laid an egg. The egg hatched quickly, revealing a tiny honeybee, and the chicken spoke in an unusual language. When Bamy left home, Sahel went to the vulture king, and he translated the message, "Take the bee home." Confused at first, she suddenly realized its meaning, ran to her house, and placed the bee inside the honeycomb in the bougainvillea tree. The honeybee princess emerged from the honeycomb and spoke to Sahel. "It was my mother who blessed you, but when Bamy took you from this house, my mother died, and we all grew weak with age, sickness, and eventually death," she said sorrowfully. "To protect the baby bee, the next prince of the hive, I placed him inside a chicken's stomach, transformed chicken into an egg and leaving egg in Sahel's care. You are a magical fairy blessed by my mother," she continued. "Only your warmth could hatch the egg and bring the chicken to life. At last, my prince baby bee was born with your warmth gifted with the power to never die. So, with the presence of this prince honeybee, we and our hive will no longer face death," the honeybee princess said with relief. One by one, all the bees emerged from the honeycomb, surrounding Sahel with gratitude. "Thank you for saving us," they buzzed in unison. "Please stay with us, in your mother's house," they pleaded. Sahel looked around, feeling a deep connection to her true home. "No, I can't," Sahel said sadly. "I am under her control." The honeybee princess gently replied, "We can save you. Now that we have our never-dying prince, our hive will never perish again. The day Bamy stole you, our gift of eternal life was lost," she continued. "She attacked our hive, and many of us died, but now, with my son, we have the power to fight back." The honeybee princess said, "Mara, your mother, saved us. Now, it is our responsibility to protect you." That night, when Bamy returned, she immediately noticed Sahel's absence. Panic filled her as she searched the room, then grabbed the magical chicken and ran toward the bougainvillea house. Sahel, I know you are here. Come with me, or your friend will die in my hands," Bamy roared. Sahel stepped outside, trembling. "If you stay in this house, I will kill this chicken, and it will die here," Bamy threatened. "No. Don't do that," Sahel cried, her heart pounding. Suddenly, the honeybees swarmed from the comb and attacked Bamy from behind. She screamed, throwing the chicken away, and desperately slapped at the bees, but they wouldn't die. "What is happening?" Bamy roared in terror. She turned and ran for her life. Sahel, the bees, the princess, and the magical chicken burst into laughter, their home finally safe. The end.